Last week we were talking about like that fish finder thing. If you want to catch the fish, And so let me ask you a question. And then we went back into Revelation chapter 2, and it says to go back to your first love. And I just want to put out, what was your first love in the Word? Well, I mean, when you got saved, what was your first love? Or, are you still doing it, or you left it, or what's your? No, I'm going to talk about ministry.
It's like when I knew the truth, okay, it's just like everybody out there needs to know this because God. And yeah, I'm still doing it. Not doing it as strongly as I did before because care for the world, they do pull you away. But I'm planning this Saturday to be out on the corner over there at 62nd and 19th. Cross. And I've asked people at the church, and I'm going to send out an email today because I'm not planning on doing that one for my pulpit. This is like, I'm asking people to come out and see what I do. And then next Saturday, I want to try to get people from my church to come out, and I got 3 crosses. So I want somebody to come out, see what I'm doing, and then somebody take the other 2 crosses. Okay, so it's like, but it's hard because I don't want people going out there and getting into conflicts, okay? And a lot of people, when they're out there, they want to sit there and argue with people. They want to sit there and, get involved. I very seldom pass out tracts, okay? Because that's not what I'm there doing. The message is on the cross, okay? The cross says what it needs to say. If someone comes up and talks to me, I'll talk with them. If they give me yell at me or scream at me or do something like that, I don't even do hand gestures because I won't wave because someone can take that the wrong way. I just nod my head like this and go on, okay? And these are the things that, I want people to come out and see what I do because I don't want to duplicate what I'm doing incorrectly. I want the Lord to be the focus of it. Okay? And it's like, sometimes I get really frustrated, but I think right now what's happening is, like I just said, nobody's hiring me right now. Well, I think that's because more push has to be done towards the outreach. Okay? God's just moving that out, okay? Things are not going to happen that way, so I just need to do more and more. I'll be out on the street with that cross. I'll be trying to get more people to come out and trying to teach people. And the other thing is, make more crosses, okay? Show people how to make a cross.
So that was your first love?
My first love was outreach.
You guys ever go down 54th Avenue? Right past the school, there's the light there, and there's this crossing guard.
Oh yeah, Tennessee City.
Yeah. Oh,
he's always pointing.
He's incredible, man. He's over there like that with everybody.
He's been there for a long time.
Oh, wow. What was your first love when you first?
Well, I definitely, God spared my physical life, and I didn't know anything about spirituality. Yeah, I gave my life to Jesus, but I didn't understand it. And so I think that I definitely beat people up with the Bible. I used it as a cudgel. And that was offensive. It was an offense. And probably should repent from using God's word as a weapon instead of a messenger of love. I think the nursing home has helped me to focus on that because their requirement is so minimal. It's just caring about it. And just an example, I met this lady Marie the first time yesterday. And what's your name? close because she was so weak or tender. She's laying in a bed that they roll around and get her out of the room. First time, and I said, "Oh, Marie, just like the song in West Side Story?" And she was like, "Yeah!" And it touched the button, you know. And so it touched 20 people's lives. And mainly the song, and how beautiful, you know, how, you know, so much is going on in our lives that want to break us. God always wants to build us. And that's for me, you know, has been the message through music, really. And how, you know, cross after cross when I first saw the light, right? The burden on my heart rolled away. Was there by faith. I received my sight. And now, I am mostly happy every day. But it should be always.
Yeah.
And, you know, because even a bad day with Jesus is so much better than what I have before.
Is there such a thing?
Well,
I don't know that there is.
it's not with Jesus, it's with yourself. You know, the self that's on the throne. And,
Yeah. Well, that's it.
You know.
You're in the wrong seat.
Amen. Amen.
always take it back.
What was your first love?
May sound strange because I still go back to it once in a while. Proverbs. Somebody told me there's 31 Proverbs. You can read a chapter every day, every month. And so I still find gems in it, things be corrected. I would say Proverbs.
Proverb of the day keeps the devil at bay.
Amen. Chris?
Let me start off with it. In my younger days, my Lord, the excitement, anticipation was so much higher, and that excitement and anticipation is more calm now than the way it was. I used to chase people in the bathrooms. I mean, it was bad. I mean, my
Yeah,
family
get
members.
arrested if you did that.
Yeah. My family members, they would run to the bathrooms to get away from it. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be outside the door of the bathroom just continuing on with it.
Wow.
And I mean, that's kind of excitement and anticipation I had.
So did you put tracks in the toilet paper? and then roll it out? Oh!
No, but I know a lot of people don't like the Jack Chick tracks, but I used to leave them in bathrooms all
Yeah.
the time. but
The sissy. My
But
favorite.
that excitement and anticipation has waned away quite a bit. And the reason I believe it is because back then, I was looking for the Lord in everything. I mean, on signposts, anything where he could be talking, I was trying to, okay, what is it you want? Where? And I mean, that's the way it was. I was always looking for his movement or his speaking or whatever. And I know to get back to the state of my first love, I basically have to start looking again. And, you know, and I know it builds up, it just builds because he encourages you when you seek him. You know, what's the scripture? If you seek me, you shall find me when you search for me with what? All your heart.
Yeah.
You see, and that's my, if I had to say, that's my downfall there is I'm not seeking him like I did in my first love days. And I mean, it's just like, well, here's an area you can improve on. Go back to your first love. You know, that's when he speaks to me. Now, this is to me I'm talking about. You know.
But you got your reading on here?
Thank you.
Yeah. first love? Don't tell me it's Susan.
Just said it caught around me.
Well, I'd probably say that to one extent it's probably kind of similar to Fritz, where it was just that change that we're called to and everything when we accept Christ, but then also to a degree I'd probably say part of my first love is just serving God. I mean, when I was praying about whether I was called to ministry and everything, I don't think I was actually specifically called to one ministry or the other, but just to serve. To be willing to serve wherever God leads me to be. And in the years since then, I have pretty much served in different capacities at times. From working with kids to doing computer stuff and all sorts of other, and teaching and everything. So it's just basically just that willingness to serve wherever God wants me type of thing.
My alarm never went off at 5 o'clock.
Well, we're there.
So I didn't go in.
Been there since day one.
Yeah.
Everything
I got there
turns to
by
him.
10.
And related to what he said with the Bible, I learned early on, especially when we studied Hearing Jesus Without Fear by William Fay. And he said, you know, you can go out there and beat him over the head with the Bible,
No, I
it's going to
said
turn him
not.
away.
I said
He said Big Bertha will scare him. He said, and it was way back then I realized that the weapon we have is our tongue and his word. Tongue is a two-edged sword. So if we speak, but we have to walk what we speak. We have to show it. Like, I forget who said this way back. Share the gospel, and every once in a while use some word. So my ministries have changed as needed where the Lord needs me. I get out in the morning, like now when I get in the car, before I leave the car, I'm 10 minutes or so with the Lord. Just like that.
All right.
You know, and
There's one more ride.
it,
Right here.
it's kind of. Thank you. And it's kind of like a blessing because
Week, right?
I get people in the car and you know they hear Joy FM and we start talking and they start asking me questions, and because I've read the Bible for 20 years, I have some of the answers for it. I don't always have it, but a lot of times I do. And it's kind of neat is when you get to the airport after riding for 20 minutes and someone gets up and says, "Thank you, brother, it made my day much better." And all I was doing was sharing the word. And so it's like, we just have to go out there and show Jesus in us. And let people want to know, what do you have that I don't? You know, what is it? And I wear this. And people look at that and go, "I like that shirt." Yeah, that's the boss. And they go, "Yeah." And you know what? That's my big brother too. And they go, you know, like I'm, what are you, some kind of, no, I'm a child of God. I'm in family because of this man right here who came here and died for me. And when you start talking like that, they start listening. You know?
It becomes very personal.
And it's been that way for over 40 years.
Well, when I got saved, I got saved. That's the best way I can put it. I was raised in church, you know, I think I was telling you yesterday, I was grandma's little preacher boy, you know what I mean? I went to church from ever since I can remember till I was 12 years old, and for some reason when I hit 12, I was like, you know, I got this, you know, I'm good, I don't need this church anymore. So by the time I was 14, I had quit school, I was working full time, I moved out, I've been on my own since I was 14. And what does it say about a prodigal, you know? The Proverbs talk about a lot. They lay on the corner for the fool passes by. You know, and they entice you with these things. And I found myself from being brought up right, being taught right, knowing the truth, to totally compromising, and totally going the wrong way for basically 14 years. It was from 14 to 28. I mean, I started out just, okay, smoking pot. That ain't bad, right? That's the way you tell yourself, you know, but hey, from a Christian to smoking pot, that's pretty bad. Till finally, here I am strung out on heroin, doing speedballs, coke and heroin mix. And I'm like, this is crazy. How did I get here? From that to there. How did you know what I mean? And seriously, thought about committing suicide, tried a few times. Died actually and had out-of-body experience. And my grandfather came to me, the only person I know for a fact that died and went to heaven because he lived a godly life. Came, he talked to me and told me it wasn't my time to die, that God was going to send me back to my body, my spirit, and that he wanted to use me. So he did. When I got a second chance at life, I mean, first thing I did, I knew I had gathered the wrong kind of friends. So I was unapologetically saved. I called all my friends up, and I'm going to the house. They didn't know what was going on. But I told them, hey, I've been born again, I am saved. You know what I mean? I gave the truth. And to this day, only 2 or 3 of them got saved. A couple of them back then, but the rest of them went the other way. They weren't really friends. They were acquaintances, you know? And I haven't looked back. I mean, to me, when you find Jesus, you know when you go to a good restaurant, you find a good thing and you tell your friends about it? Okay, that's carnal, whatever. You go to a cell and it's a really good cell, you want to tell somebody about it. Well, I found everything that's ever good all in one thing, Jesus. And that's the best thing you could ever experience. And to tell another person about it is the greatest thing you'll ever do. And I haven't lost that desire. I get to do it quite often, really, with the platform was, and thank him for that.
That was from you.
music.
Did you hear that? That's it.
Started out and way back when I was we got these Christian groups that would go around singing churches and stuff like that, and then they would go into ministry in foreign countries and stuff like
The
that.
Greek omelet, right here.
And it was like
So then,
Jesus Christ,
might be
Christ, and they would bring in all these, really great young college people or whatever like that.
I'm the only one that doesn't know.
Music background and stuff. So kind of thinking about getting back into it. Like, they invited me to church up here or whatever like that.
We're supposed to have something like that at Starkey Baptist. Open doors for sharing music.
But it went all the way to the point where it was almost like Hillside United or something like that. I mean, these groups that were really good at
Some of these omelets I've never even seen.
outfits that come around or whatever. And then I got drafted right out of high school or whatever like that. I guess the other part of it would be serving in the ministry or whatever like that. They didn't have a need for my specialty or whatever, and I was waiting for my medical school or whatever. So they assigned me to be a chaplain, of all things. But it was really cool and it was really disheartening in 2 ways. I enjoyed setting up for the ministers and their priests and stuff like that, doing that. And then loading up the gear to go out into the field or whatever like that, and we could go.
Where am I going? Yes, sir.
That's it. With grits.
Need coffee?
And this is the house omelet. House omelet.
Right here.
It's on the house too, right?
I knew you were gonna ask that. I just
You're
knew it.
missing white wheat toast.
It's just in the house.
That's
Oh, okay.
the white
In
meat
the
toast is gonna cost me.
I was waiting for her to say, don't push it.
How are you? How are you? How are you? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm
So,
But another part of that
Salt and
that
pepper, please.
really I went and drove quickly or whatever, then man or
Were you a
whatever it
Christian
was.
when you were assigned that?
Yeah.
Well,
I got saved through one of those,
campus
campus
crusade.
crusades or whatever like that. We had Bible study. I actually had Bible studies when I was in New York.
Everybody else is on the way, on the way.
We would group, get together in somebody's apartment.
Yeah.
What kind of honor is
Little services
that?
and stuff like that.
Oh, see,
Get over in Europe.
not awake yet, and I,
So it was more like selfish than when. It's interesting.
A lot of Bible studies and stuff like that. The part that I think was good but disheartening was learning compassion and learning to share pain. Many of my friends or whatever like that, I'd have to go see them because somebody just died. I was doing his funeral. And that's when you know somebody. It's kind of like you can be the most compassionate guy in the world, or like it's like a cop go to a scene or whatever like that, and they can take the baby or whatever, and the mom, you know, laying up in a wreck or whatever like that. But when you go to a wreck site and realize it's your family in the car or whatever like that, it's a whole different.
yes.
And I started with friends feeling like they were family, and then all of a sudden they got notified, oh, and then they come back.
And then you got your soul, is there anything else you need?
Like, you grow up real fast or whatever like that.
Nursing home when you visit people, and then next week, I got to pray with Maggie. The day before she died at 8 o'clock in the morning the following day, Friday. And Maggie was kind of a seer. She would see things in the night, and kind of maybe an out of it kind of person. But I don't know. To me, I don't know. I'm able to connect with her. And Maggie was, she shut down eating and drinking and all that stuff, and that's, you know, usually a week to 10 days is when those things just start naturally happening. And of course, everybody's concerned. The neighbor next to her, Denise, was, you know, I'm not giving her any food or any drink, and so the day before I dipped my finger in the water and I put it on her mouth, and I thought I put muriatic acid in it. Because it wasn't, you know, she was going down. And so it's just interesting to be a part of someone's life.
She's bringing it right now.
At the end, and you know, because you know,
Yeah.
in the nursing home, they're there because they need a little help. And
The last thing on these is my apologies.
and you just,
I was short
it's
one
so
time.
challenging to know that this is what's occurring, and you're there to prophesy. 1 Corinthians 14 says, prophecy is to comfort, to edify, and exhort. And so, do we have words of life? And that's what I call that prophetic thing. Comfort, edify, exhort. Maggie's going home. Maggie, you ready to meet the angels? Maggie, God bless you. And so,
You know, my first, my first love was, because of being a JW, that I didn't like, I mean, believe it or not, I had a problem talking to people. And,
were your parents JW?
so they were Catholic.
It could have been either.
And, I liked the Catholics, because I had a sense of reverence, of learning reverence. When we became a JW, they told me all this other stuff, but it was good because the training of talking to people.
Anyone?
Yeah.
But when I really got saved, was right here, hon. Right here. When I first got saved, man, the joy of going out and sharing the gospel and talking to people, and you know, and I always thought, you know, I wasn't really equipped, but you know, it was the Spirit of God, and so, you know, that brought me into doing, you know, what I did with the Dream Center and going out and feeding the homeless and all that. And
Too over easy.
two over easy, is that you?
That's right here.
Thank you.
And so, you know, and so, okay, I got into ministry. And so I was doing my first love, but then you know what? Ministry will burn the heck out of you. Ministry will take that first love away from you. You know, because then you become self instead of God.
Well, it becomes carnal in nature, not spirit
Bingo,
led.
bingo, right. And that's, you know, you're looking at people cross-eyed and this and that, this guy coming in with a scam, a game, and this and that, whatever, you know? And so, you know, you start losing that joy because, you know, everybody that's coming through the door has got a story, got a game or something like that. And so, then, you know, then I started thinking more about, like, you know, not that I was God, but, you know, I want to save them, I want to catch them, scale them, cook them, and everything, you know. And then, so, you know, I'm misdirected, you know, whatever. That's kind of what I wanted. But that's not what, if you get them saved and they go somewhere else, fine, they don't go. But the point is you share the gospel. And so, you know, through all the stuff that I've been through, ups and downs, and ministry, this and that, I had some friends call me, I was telling you, Elsie, I don't know if I told you, Elsie, my guys from the south side, I was hoping Rodman and King and some of the other guys, yeah, they would show up today, but they were in the backyard yesterday, because they give food out once a week. And so they were reminiscing.
Aiken,
Oh,
that's you.
they were reminiscing of all the stuff that we did.
And yours
The party, we
is coming
prayed,
out.
we prayed already, so, you know, reminiscing of all the outreaches that we did and all the sports camps and all this crazy stuff. We went out to Palmetto, we went here, we went there, and
$15 a day extra.
they said, don't call Sam, we'll start crying.
No, I'm serious.
And
No, I'm not.
they called me, and they're telling me that, and
You
know,
stop crying.
I started crying, you know,
Back right now.
because,
That's where you want to be.
yeah, that's what,
I
yeah,
know.
because this gentleman, I wish, you know, I gotta go to this outside, you know, but, you know, the fact that the joy that we had, on top of all, forget all the stuff
Alright, now I
that
can get
happened,
that cheese.
forget about all that stuff.
This many is
Well,
last
because-
month and now.
It happens, you know, somebody might have said this, that, whatever, I do the pastor out there, you know. And,
The only
you
thing
know
I
what?
have to tell you is.
When it's all said and done, is the joy of us working together. And I had 4 guys out there in the south side that were crazy, like me, and we just went out and did it, you
I
know?
know exactly.
And that joy, the happiness that I felt when I did that. And so, and I told him, I says, you just hold on, brother, I'm coming. And God set me free. God restored back to me, like we were talking about losing that first love, and restored back to me that joy that you know, that He had gave me. You know, and you guys talk about ministering to people. Yesterday, I went to the doctor to get a note for the chaplain thing, and then I said, well, let me go to Aldi's to get some cake some donuts or whatever, because I go to Pastor Harold's, and do a drive-by here at his place and bring, he makes me coffee, we have donuts, and he didn't have any, so I went and got some. But while I was there was a police officer there. And what happened was, little old lady was sitting in the corner, and somebody stole her purse. And she had all her groceries in there, so coming through the line, I paid it, and the unction of the Holy Spirit says, go pay it. So I went over there, man, it's okay. Oh no, it's okay. No, it's okay. I'd rather check, but all you're gonna take a check. And a lady came by and gave me $10. I said, no, she gave me $10. I said, yeah, I took it. So, but it's part of that, you know, she gave the blessing too. So I said, we paid it. You know, God put it in my heart, you know, and I told her, honey, we love you, God bless you, and so it'll be okay. And so when you're led by the Holy Spirit, and you're obedient to go and do, that's the joy. That's it. That guy that was Elsie, the guy that was doing the fire extinguisher.
That's right.
Man, that man's a drummer. He's a sound man. So I got to talking and I said, dude, I said, what are you doing sitting where were you? So I was sitting across the street in the shade. Well, you don't want to get any darker? When you started out white or something? You know? But anyway, we got to talking, but the joy of sharing the gospel, the joy of speaking to people about the Lord, that is, to me, is the joy that God's restoring back to me, you know? And that's why I can laugh when I'm crawling around on the floor, something that I didn't think I was going to be doing. But I was, you know, and to me, it's not, the box, it's the relationship. Because see, to me, the greatest thing that we all have is relationships. You know, I mean, yeah, we don't hang out all the time, but you know, once a week we come together with some guys that love God. And they're doing something in ministry in one form. You know, this guy here is, you know, he's a Christ, but service. And we all have gifts and we all have talents, you know. And when we hear in 1 Corinthians 16:40, it says, the Apostle Paul says, do all your work in love. Do all your work in love. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you're doing a work, you're just going through the motions. You know, some people are married and they're going through the motions. But you know, over here it says, do all your work in love. And he doesn't say some of your work, but all of your work. He also says that no matter what I do, I'm bankrupt without love. In 1 Corinthians 13:3. And the point is that any job can be turned into worship. Any job. When it is built on the foundation of Christ's love. When that happens, His love is expressed through you to co-workers, clients, and customers. Mother Teresa said, it's not what you do so much that matters, but how much love you put into it. Think about it like this. 2/3 of the world's career is care. The English philanthropist John Ruskin once said, when love and skill come together, expect a masterpiece. So when you pray a prayer every day this week, whether it is at home or at school, in your backyard or your neighborhood or wherever you work, I want you to pray, Father, today I want to worship you through my work. I want to express my gift. I want to do it as if I'm doing it for you. And I wanted to do it in love. So then, in Romans 12:1, so then, my friends, because of God's great mercy to us, I appeal to you. Offer yourself as a living sacrifice to God, dedicated to His service and pleasing Him. This is the true worship that you should offer. Awesome. That's it. Do it forever.
You know, a lot of times people hear and read the scriptures.
I own the radio.
And the minute they hear do everything in love, they relate to physical eros type of love. And that doesn't work because, like you said, you can do things and you're not thinking you're doing love because you hate it.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it in God's love, in Jesus' love, that agape love isn't emotional, it's heartfelt. And you have to learn the difference. And it's not easy. I mean, it took me a long time to learn it. I'm like you know, now it's like, okay, Lord, you want me to do this? I'll do it. I may not like it, I may not want to,
Yeah.
but thy will be done.
Yeah.
And those 4 words stick with me. Not my will. Thy will be done.
I think when you, for example, there was a quote, Mother Teresa. She was a Catholic woman, and not.
Yeah.
Okay? And yet everybody in Christianity quotes her.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. Because she was the one who had that kind of love. She did not, when she was dealing with these people, she was dealing with lepers, she was dealing with people who, and she never concerned herself about what the outcome was going to be because she trusted God. And I think that's the biggest problem that, a lot of us, I think when we all started out when we were first saved, we had the zeal to go out there and do, but that zeal was like, we gotta get them saved, so shove them into a wall and preach it, okay? I got them in the corner.
But what you said there, it does show what a lot of people think. They look at somebody, they're not looking at what their heart's doing. They're, like you said, she was from a Catholic, or, oh, that person's a Catholic, oh, this one's a Lutheran, it's like, God has a remnant in every one of man's denominations.
Amen.
And he reaches their hearts, and that's where he's going to use to get everybody over this religion stuff.
Right.
There's religion and there's righteousness, and I would prefer the righteousness every time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think one of the things that really caused me to wane in my love in the very beginning, believe it or not, was the bucket brigade, as I call them, and that's fellow Christians. I mean, when you're a newbie, you're full of that excitement. There are groups of Christians that will run around with the water and put the fire out.
Oh yeah?
And it's horrible. I can remember witnessing at work, to a fellow employee and all excited about the Lord, and this woman that was working with me who was also a Christian turns around and looks at me and she goes, "How long have you been saved?" And I told her it was fairly recent. And she goes, "Oh, no wonder." And then the person I'm witnessing to, she looks at him and says, "Well, we need to take all them that are like this and throw them in a room for 6 months and then let them out." In other words, I was too excited for the message. I thought that was horrible to do that, and it struck me such that to this day, if I'm around a person who's brand new to the Lord, and even though they might not be totally doctrinally correct necessarily, I will keep my mouth shut unless it's something that's really bad, if they really mess up on how to come to the Lord or whatever, something like that. But, and I've learned to let them be exuberant because it encourages them even to grow more.